Now, I, like anybody else, experience stressful and overwhelming moments, and at times things can feel pretty intense. So I found utilizing one or several of the following techniques that help me to wind down from tense emotional or mental states, and I welcome you to try any of these strategies that you feel might help you as well. Let's get started. How do you deal better with stress? Great question, right? The first thing we must all do at some point in maturity is to decide not to be a stress case. There has to be an intentional decision at some point in our lives where we say, look, I'm not gonna be a stressful person anymore, right? I'm allowing too much stress into my life. And most of the stress is not real. No one hands you a plate of stress, right? Or it's not something you can see, exchange and transact, right? It's something we just make up in our mind. We make things stressful that may or may not or have any cause to be stress inducing, right? One thing that could stress you out might not be a stressful thing to anybody else, right? So that proves you're making it up. Now, since you're making it up, we should decide what we're going to do in the future. Are we always going to be a stressful people or not? I know that sounds so silly, but I made that decision a few years ago that I'm not gonna be a stressful person anymore, right? I used to stress about getting everything right. I used to stress about getting good grades. I used to stress about keeping everyone happy. And at some point of my life, I realized that all this is made up. It's just in my head. Most of the stress usually comes from one of the two things. First, it is a false time crunch that we perceive, right? We think we have only so much of time, and after that everything becomes like, oh my god, I need to get this done. I'm running out of time. I need to get married. I'm getting old, right? We are reacting our lives to really false deadlines. Someone asks you for something and you think you just have to get it done right away. You probably don't, right? It's probably not a real deadline unless you ask them when is the real deadline on this, the point on which everything falls and crumbles apart. I'm crazy about this in my life. I learned this from Brendan Burchard and I loved it. So try this out. Say if someone says, I want this by Thursday. Say, okay, if you need this by Thursday, is Thursday is the day where everything explodes and falls apart if you didn't get it? Like, no, Monday will be fine. So you bought yourself Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and a part of the Monday. So you just bought yourself 5 days just by asking when is the real deadline, right? Most people want you to do something when they want it and not when they need it, right? So your job to deal with the time crunch is just by asking when is the real deadline, right? And all the things you're stressed out about, do they need to be handled right now, this immediate second, right? Is it possible you create a plan and hang them over to next couple of days, right? Next couple of weeks or next couple of months? When you actually realize that how much time we all have as humans, how much more time we have when we become disciplined, diligent, intentional and focused, then we are not stressed anymore. It's like, I will get to that when the time is appropriate for that, right? Right now I have other things to do. The second sort of trick that our mind plays on us is to make things more important than they really are. Are you the one running around town really stressed out to get your groceries? Groceries are stressing you out? Like, come on now. Some people don't have the ability and the gift to buy groceries, right? But you have the ability to drive around your car, go to the fancy food store and find different kind of foods you like to choose. It's not served on a metal plate in a prison, right? Hey, you got some blessings here, right? What we do is, it's this one thing we don't want to do and we create stress and negative energy around it. Let's better manage our minds. Let's not be the stress case. To give yourself a little bit of perspective and say, okay, how would my highest self view this, right? Or how would my best self deal with this? Would it run around like a 9-year-old child, or would it say, okay, I got this, I can handle this, all things in due time? We can all be much more peaceful if we do just a few of very basic things. First, get the perspective on the situation. When is it really due? Is it that really important? If it is important and it is due, then how can I go about the process of getting in and getting it complete? Relax from a peaceful place and you will handle it really well. I know you got this. So most of our mental tension is also coming from our physical tension. So learn to breathe. If you're not breathing at the moment, If you're always taking just little sip of air, then you're gonna deal worse with the stress, right? So allow yourself just to breathe. Whenever I sense the tension has started to peak, I just tend to take few minutes, stop what I'm doing, close my eyes and tune into the sensation. I do a quick body scan to become aware of the areas I might be holding the tension. I then put my hand on the target area to bring awareness to it. I take slow deep breaths, using this moment to silently ground and recenter myself. Now that's not my perspective, that's not my belief, that's science, right? We can tell without any question, the deeper breathing you do, the more calmer you get. At some point of time, even if you decide you're not going to be the stress case, right? You actively manage your perspective about time and importance. You're taking in breaths. Still, you're gonna get days where you feel overwhelmed. There's one very simple thing you can do. That is, just take a walk outside. Leave the office or leave the house and just take a short walk, 20 to 45 minutes. You know, I'm not saying walking across the country and leaving all your responsibilities. I mean, that sounds great though. But all I'm saying is just a short walk, right? And if you're a gymming person like me, then go for exercise, or go for running. The point is to move your body. Dispel some of your physical tension and your mental tension might go as well. Makes sense, right? We are all familiar with the comfort that warmth provides. Sunshine, a fireplace, a cozy blanket. One easy way to introduce the calming effect of the warmth is a warm beverage. This could be some mint leaves or lemon wedges in warm water, or my go-to is having some green tea. I think there's a couple of reasons for the calming effects of the warm beverage. As it is hot by nature, it encourages us to slow down and we can't drink it quickly, and are prompted to really take our time for that brief moment we decide to take a sip. Another reason of drinking tea or warm beverage is that it becomes a part of person's routine, and routine in themselves can help you promote a feeling of calmness. And it goes without saying that drinking beverages, whether hot, warm or cold, it keeps you hydrated. So it's time to start now. Get a perspective, breathe, take a walk, have some warm beverage, do whatever you have to do to handle that energy a little bit better. I know everyone is different when it comes to handle the stress, right? So do let me know in the comments below what are your ideas of stress management, and I would love to hear from you. Live your best life, don't stress and don't burn yourself out, okay? If you enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up. It always means a lot to me when you do. Pick a buzz, signing off. See you in my next video. Bye.